Right, what we see behind us is the Praetorium, with the grass bit is the courtyard in the centre of the building. It's 18 rooms. This side we know is at least 2 stories. The other side possibly not. Look at the size of it. That's the commander's house. You compare that to a Come to Burnham where you've got 10 men in a cupboard. It's vast. Gentleman just said, is it the original mortar? No, it isn't. Remember, all these stones have been taken down. We've gone down. It's been put back up again. It's been put in with modern mortar, which lasts longer than the Roman stuff. But it also means future generations can go down again should they want to. We are monitoring the soil very, very closely because there is evidence that it's drying out faster than we would like. So we need your money, we need to get digging, we need to see what's in there. So behind me then, the governor's commander's house, the far side of the rooms in which the slaves, the clerks were housed and were working, also the kitchen and anything to do with the domestic running of the house. This side is the governor and his wife and family's living quarters. They have windows that face this way for the view. They are not interested, especially not the wife and the kids are looking that way. So they're looking this way. Like any couple who move house, there must have been a conversation where the husband said, I've just got my next posting. And she's gone, you what? We're going where? So it wouldn't have been a popular posting. It's not a rich place, this. It's a, it's a fairly worker town. We haven't found much gold, for example. No mosaics. You were stationed here as a commander for 3 to 4 years. You didn't have time to be faffing about with mosaics. Although there is, interestingly, a belief that they had them on boards. Instead of rolling up carpets, they had them on boards, so they took them with them. That I don't know, but it's quite an interesting.
Yeah. How did you become a governor? Did you have to, could you work your way up the ranks?
Yeah, it's interesting. Generally, governors in any fort were young men who were the sons of the equestrian or the noble families of Rome. So you were learning your craft as a leader. You learnt your craft as an orator. At school, a lot was about oration and debate, and here it was about leadership. It was very much birthright. There is evidence that some did work their way through, but not that much. Interestingly, there is also evidence that auxiliaries from local tribes brought with them maybe a son of the tribe leader who would have known those tribes, and he would have been the commander, which is quite unusual, but also in there. So the wives got up here, and as wives do, and that, or partners, was change things around a bit. So we know that there was a veranda put on the front. There was a heated dining room. You can see the hypercourse there. There's a heated dining room. They were working with what they've got and adapting it for their own taste. There's also a private bath in here, in the corner, private bathhouse, and the tree. The family here are not going to the communal. So they're here for 3 or 4 years. Just two things I want to finish on. First off, you see the courtyard, the green courtyard, there's a building cut across through it. That's one of the early 4th century Christian churches. So there are 4 on site here. There's a little bit about it in the museum, but that's been recent archaeology. It's quite interesting. After the Romans went, there was some early Christian settlement here. We don't know why you would have 4 or 5 chapels in one location. We don't know whether it was some sort of training place. We have no idea, but it's interesting just to note the history. This was occupied till about 800 AD, so 400 years after the Romans went. It was eventually abandoned. So I just want to leave you very quickly with one thought. One of the letters was received by the wife of the commander of the fort. And if you think about that lady, she would have been very socially isolated and very lonely. And so her friend at the fort in Corbridge wrote this tablet, the slave wrote it, inviting her to the birthday party. It's the famous one. Oh. And she has written on the bottom in her own hand, please come to my party. Oh. So So it's the first example of Western female handwriting that we've got, and that would be about AD 110. So a voice from the past for you all. So I'm going to finish there because I'm so conscious of
May
this
I
rain.
ask one
Of course.
thing? Did they have a?
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes, Roman did have a